GQ cover story that came out yesterday. Beckham revealed, among other things, that he had grown so unhappy with retirement 2 years ago. He also talked about his emotional state upon hearing he'd been traded to Cleveland, saying, "I felt disrespected. Like, after everything I've done for them, this is me being honest. This team has not been good for the last 6 years. I felt disrespected because I felt like I was the main reason at keeping that brand alive. They were getting primetime games still as a 5-11 team. Why? Because people want to see the show. You want to see me play." Chris, what was your reaction to what Odell had to say?
When you're 5-11, there ain't a whole bunch of a show. All right? When you're not a good football team, maybe some other leagues and everything, you go to Major League Baseball, no matter what the Angels do, I'm going to see Mike Trout. That's not the case in the NFL. People want to go see a winner. There's a reason why Larry Fitzgerald, for a number of years, why he not complained about the organization, complained about not winning in Arizona. There's two different leagues. There's a league everyone plays in, and there's the one that the winners play in. And those are the ones you can't, just because you're in prime time, think that you're responsible for that. Odell, just get a grip on yourself. This is the New York Football Giants. They have earned a reputation through how they have put year after year, 10 years, in 10-year increments, they're going to put a good team on the field. How they treat their players, all right? That's all a part of the New York Football Giants brand, not you. They haven't won since you've been there. You ain't won no playoff game there. What did you do for the Giants? You didn't enhance the brand for the Giants. And to think that you did? No, come on, Odell. Like, there's a level of immaturity in his statements that I would have thought at this point he would have been beyond. He left himself because of his conduct. That's why they traded him. He was responsible for them trading him. Him with his wandering eye, saying certain things about the New York Giants. Are you happy with the Giants? You signed a contract extension. I don't know. Those are the types of things that get you traded. So you should assume some of the responsibility for you not being with the New York Football Giants, and you talk behind the scenes of you not being with the Giants. You wanting to play with the Rams. You wanting to go to New England. Yeah, we had those discussions. Yeah, you told me. And then they traded you. Now you're upset when you were talking about getting traded before? Come on, Odell, make up your mind.
I was surprised by parts of this interview, just like I was surprised by, because I'd had similar conversations when right after Odell got traded and I reached out to him, he didn't seem happy. He didn't immediately seem like relieved or happy. And it was surprising because you had told me at the Super Bowl that he said, "I think they're going to trade me." So he seemed emotionally prepared for it. And we knew a year prior that he had been, much like how Kevin Durant's been described, he's a bit of a seeker, looking for what's next, looking for, is the grass greener there? And I understand the frustration of playing with the Giants and feeling like, man, I'm the most talented guy on the team, and as Bill James says, bad teams have a bad habit of blaming their best players for their biggest problems. I'm sure Odell felt some of that. Now, some of those problems were of his doing, but on the field, no one can question his production. I understand he had a bad playoff game, and he admits in that article he had a really bad playoff game. He's not the biggest reason they lost that playoff game, but he certainly could have helped. But aside from that individual moment, he's been exemplary on the field as far as his production. You can say the conduct on the sideline, the celebrations, whatever it is, but these are two different buckets. And what Odell, even at this age, doesn't seem to fully click in for him is that sometimes, even if you think you're being honest, there is no win in the honesty. Maybe there should be, but there isn't. We talked about with the Eli Manning comments. When is Eli part of the problem, or is Eli part of the future? Whatever it was, I remember his answer. I don't know. And that was...
You can be honest when you're in business for yourself, but you're in team sports. You made a choice to be in team sports. And when you're in team sports, you have to say certain things. So, no, being honest is not the right thing.
Well, and in this, he didn't do anything that undercut his current team, but he did do, in talking about the Giants, he asked, because he's not a dumb guy, that this is going to be the takeaway for so many people from the article. In this interview, he had, I thought, some incredibly evolved and really smart comments when he was asked about his sexuality in a way that I've never heard a pro football player talk, an active superstar pro football player. But those are going to be lost in the wash because he took shots at the Giants. He took shots at his former team. And it's just not in his interest. The best interest for him, even if you do have things you want to say, is to say, honestly, what happened to the Giants happened there. Yes. Had some good times, had some bad times. I'm so excited for this era in Cleveland. Just to remove that from the discussion. He does not, for all his good traits, he does not seem to have the capability at this point to bite his tongue even when it would help him. And that, listen, if you're gonna, it's anyone's right to live the way they want, but he's got to know that is then going to cause this type of discussion, which I think he wants to avoid.
Right. I think what he wants is a clean, fresh start, football-wise and otherwise. And every time you take a step backwards into your former self, where you used to be, where you had issues, I think that, you know, you're one step back from where you want to be. All right, let's take a break. Coming up, will Zeke and the Cowboys get a deal done before training camp starts? That is still ahead on First Things First.